Welcome, Earthlings! From the minds of Dylan Oltoft and Rob McNabb, we bring you Laughing on a Prayer!
Da 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 da.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm doing the theme tune to Justice.
Justice?
Yeah, you know, Justice League. You know, a group of people that bring justice to people. I'm pretty sure that's right.
I kind of want the Justice League to go through Police Academy now.
I would fucking love.
Just Martian Manhunter going through like an obstacle course, like gripping on the fucking like, because they all fly everywhere, so they're weak as shit. Apart from Batman, who's already at the end. Like,
I mean, he could probably like pay his way through. But
Batman bought day 2 of the Police Academy. Batman buys the Academy.
Actually, it's like he could probably own it, couldn't he?
Oh,
actually, do you know what? No, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'd quite like to see Wonder Woman, you know, have a wrestling match with, Callahan.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, for scientific reasons, just to see who would win.
And if memory serves, because Police Academy, for whatever reason, was a comedy 80s movie, there'll be an obligatory shower room scene where you just see everything.
Oh, would there? Oh, I didn't know. I was definitely doing it just for science.
I do love that random scene in Police Academy where Mahoney's watching the women's showers, and then it's like a 10-second scene, and then it's just over with, just so we can all see everything.
I kind of love, though, how so much shit just wouldn't fly today.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine? I don't know if you've seen it, the movie Porky's. Have you ever heard of that movie? The poster is literally a glory hole sort of thing. It's just about a bunch of horny American students trying to get into...
So when they say porkies, it literally means like porking?
Kind of. It's literally about all these young guys in high school trying to fuck, and there is literally like a...
Now, is this on DVD, or did you discover this video on the internet?
It's on DVD.
I
swear to God, there is an entire 10-minute scene of the guys who have holes in the women's shower room, just watching these women shower. And obviously it's that 80s thing where... all these 28-year-olds are meant to be high school students. It's like Grease sort of thing, where they're all clearly got adult bodies. But you see everything.
Like the first Spider-Man.
Yeah, but you see everything.
It's
the 80s,
like an actual film.
Yeah, it's a whole movie. It's like a whole 90 minutes thing. And there's so much nudity. Not as much male nudity, which I think was very hypocritical. If you're going to have a raunchy comedy, we need some dong as well.
Yeah, exactly. Then, I mean, that is true. I mean...
Don't skimp the dong. I always say that.
No, you shouldn't. You absolutely shouldn't, because you've got to be inclusive. Although, I remember when I was very young, or not very young, but, you know, when I was younger, growing into a man, my mate was like, you know, the key to watching porn is not looking at the dick. And I was like, well, where the fuck am I supposed to look? Because there's only fucking 2 guys in the fucking video. Like, it was very confusing.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Laughing on a Prayer. My name is Dylan Oltoft, and with me is the illustrious and the magnetically handsome Robert McNabb.
Yes, and it's been a minute.
And as you can probably tell from that 3-minute opening spiel, we are of course going to be discussing...
Yes, high five, we lasted 3 minutes.
Yeah! Woo! Oh, that's 2 minutes and 58 seconds more than I usually do.
Oh yeah,
not including foreplay.
But the thing is, it was better than average. It was better than average. I got a good energy from it.
I won't lie.
It's not about the ending. It's about the journey.
I saw this tweet on the Twitter before, and it was talking about referring to women's erotica as cliterature.
Literature.
And then I put in the comments, I guess a lot of male readers will struggle to find it.
To be fair, literature does sound like way more classy.
Yes. I do not degrade myself with smut. I read literature.
Literature. I was like,
it's just fun to say.
If I was to read literature, I feel like I wouldn't belong.
Everyone put literature down in the comments. No context. I want people to click on this video. And you know when you click on a video, you instantly sort of scroll through the comments while it's playing, sort of thing.
Literature. Yeah. Hashtag literature squad.
Click gang.
Click.
Logan Paul has the low gang. Laughing on a Prayer has the click gang. Oh, Jesus Christ.
As me just like drive by, yeah, click.
Ski rap. Click. What the fuck? Oh, we should have made this the bullshit episode.
Oh yeah, shit, we actually have to subject for this one.
As I was saying, today we are, of course, I mean, fucking read through the lines here. Going to be talking about Battison's The Batman.
The Batman. He actually doesn't have a...
No, he doesn't go with a greatly...
voice, does he?
Yeah, I'm really glad...
Actually.
I'm really glad the growly Bale voice did not continue on in live-action Batmans. Animated Batmans... It's never had that problem. We've had Kevin Conroy, and even the voice of RoboCop has been Batman.
Even the is it Arkham Asylum? I think it's who's the dude that voices Batman in the animated series?
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah,
throughout the whole, throughout all the Arkham series.
As Mark Hamill voiced the Joker in the Arkham Asylum game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they both. And I don't know. I think when I was kind of younger, I thought, I will admit, I thought the Christian Bale kind of growling was kind of cool, but like watching The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight is one of my favourite films just ever, but like watching it now, like it is a little goofy. Like,
me and my partner recently actually did rewatch the Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. We still need to rewatch Dark Knight Rises, and we could not stop riffing all the way through it. Like every time we saw Batman running, I turned to my partner and go, and shit like that. Like whenever he's fighting, like it's just this belching, gurgling growl.
Yeah, I know. And to be fair, sometimes like if I've lost something in my flat and I'm just like on my own walking about, I do sometimes go like, whoa. I don't know. It's a weird thing. That
you know that moment in Batman Begins when Scarecrow first gasses him and he goes onto the roof, he's like, Alfred. I really wanted to hear that conversation carry on as Alfred then goes, who is this? As if who else would have that number and be like, Alfred.
Do you know
who is this?
Yeah, the thing is, because like his voice wasn't that bad when he first did it.
Are we talking about Bale or Battison?
Yeah, Bale.
Okay.
His voice wasn't that bad when he first did it, and then he got gas. I literally thought he was just like choking, like the gas had made his voice like raspy.
Oh right.
Because I wasn't hugely paying attention the first time I watched it. But anyway, we're talking about the Batman.
Yeah, going still, now that we've deviated back, I don't mind Battison's quick tangent. How are you on board with this new routine of referring to actors' last names and just like referring to, like, for example, Batfleck and all that? Like, that's...
Yeah.
Imagine if that had started with Christian Bale, Batter-Ale or something.
No, it's not. It's just Bale.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's just Bale. He was made for it. And one of the best... No, it'd just be Bale.
But then it became Batfleck, and now we've got Battison. Are you on board with this new scheme of how we're naming Batman actors?
I mean, the fact that Christian Bale is the Batman for the best Batman film ever made...
Granted.
Yeah.
I guess...
I think it's just Bale for him.
Batoony wouldn't work well because of George Clooney.
Works for me. Or Blooney.
Batilma. Val Kilmer. Batest. Adam West.
Balilma. Oh no, wait, that's a horrible eating disorder.
Which you can never make a joke about.
No.
There's a reference fucking no one's listening's gonna get.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Don't you love private jokes that alienate listeners?
Yeah, exactly, like Balilma.
So, love it or hate it, the whole new Battison Batfleck sort of mantra.
I mean, I don't mind it. I feel like in a way it gets fans to kind of like come together on something. Like it's
good for hashtags.
Kind of fun. Yeah, hashtag Battison. It is also kind of fun to say.
It
like Batfleck. Like it's kind of fun to say. And that's kind of what it's about. But
I think before we can talk about the film, let's first talk about the elephant in the room. Obviously, the whole spiel about casting Robert Battison as Batman, because so many people were going, "Oh, the sparkly guy from Twilight." Fun fact: do you know who hates Edward from Twilight more than anyone else in the world? Robert Battison. If you ever listen to the director's commentary on Twilight, and by the way, don't be a pussy, watch Twilight, it's hilarious.
Watch his interviews where he chats shit about Twilight. Like, there's some funny shit.
Apparently, Kristen Stewart says she doesn't even remember filming the Twilight movies.
I mean, I wouldn't want to. But again, it's good that, I think what's fun, good about it is, like, bro, like, why don't you, like, you could have, like, Cedric Diggory, mate, you're in Harry Potter, alright? Like, that That's good enough. But like, watch interviews with him chatting shit about Twilight. Like, he has a good humour about the character that he plays.
Not to mention, I feel like the hatred towards Twilight was similar to the hatred towards Justin Bieber. Like, back when you were in secondary school or high school, for any American listeners, yeah, it was cool to hate on the sparkly vampire guy, but like, what, 10 years down the line, if you're still going, the girly movie Twilight, you are a fucking loser.
Justin Bieber, the gay kid, it's like, mate, he gets more pussy than you, like, in a week than you have in your entire life.
It stopped being cool to hate Robert Pattinson for Twilight after 5 years.
And don't get me wrong, when you're like 14 years old, yeah, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, like, oh yeah, no, sparkly vampire guy. It's like, yeah, but he's like a famous millionaire. I'd be a fucking sparkly vampire guy if I was gonna be a millionaire. And
not to mention,
I'd do that 100%.
That's the thing. You could have left those movies and then just been bankrolled the rest of your life for residuals. But Battison actually went, and I'll admit I haven't seen his movies he's done in between Twilight and the Batman. But apparently he's become a really good actor.
He was in Tenet.
I've heard that.
Nolan film.
Was that good?
No, not really. I mean, look, I love Nolan. I love Nolan's Batman. But Tenet was.
Do you think in hindsight
that's a story for a different day?
Do you think in hindsight that Inception's overrated?
It's
been all these years.
I mean, I've watched Inception. I mean, I'm not a smart man, but I've watched Inception 3 times over my life, and I still don't really understand all of it. So maybe I'm just dumb. But like, if I have to watch a film 3 times, I don't understand it, then I'm just gonna dislike it.
Leonardo DiCaprio's totem was actually his wedding ring. Anyway.
Oh shit! No, I am just stupid then. But interesting actually that you bring up that Battison, Robert Pattinson wanted to. Obviously, his name's Robert, so we share a special bond with good names.
Why?
Because we got the same name.
What's your name?
Bobby. I ask you to call me Rob because it doesn't sound as but like, it's interesting that you bring up that he gets away from that kind of pretty boy thing, because as we know, Heath Ledger, who played the Joker in the Nolan's Batman, he was originally like a pretty boy thing. 10 Things I Hate About You, he was kind of like the pretty boy in Hollywood.
Wasn't that Matthew McConaughey? No, that was How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Sorry, carry on.
He was, but he didn't want to be it, and then he did one of the best performances. And I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool parallel how one of the Batmen, I guess, came out of being a pretty boy, as did one of the Jokers come out of being a pretty boy. I just thought that was kind of cool. Again,
if memory serves, believe it or not, a lot of people were originally against from the Tim Burton Batman, fucking. The name has slipped my mind. Batman. Fucking.
Clooney.
No, from the Tim Burton one.
Oh, shit. Val Kilmer.
No, Tim Burton.
Yeah, I know.
You cunt sandwich.
Yeah, no, the fucking dude.
It's...
What's it? Yeah, the Vulture in Spider-Man.
For fuck's sake.
I'm going to fucking look it up. This is fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, it is embarrassing, because I'm trying to use this as a point here, and it's just fucked up from my mind. It snatched my clitoris and ran to the hills.
What's it?
I'm going to remember it just as you fucking come across it.
Yeah, no, you are. I bet you are. Hang on, you got a few seconds. Michael Keaton!
My dick was in the other room. Okay, so yeah, the people originally thought...
God, that is fucking embarrassing that neither of us fucking remembered that.
In a whole video about Batman, we failed to remember Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. Was it...
You know, Nicolas Cage was almost nearly Superman.
No way. I'd watch that.
Ever Google that image? There's even one of those things. He's in the outfit of what he would have looked like as Superman, and it is whatever you're picturing. I
saw someone Photoshop Emma Watson's face on a Superwoman costume.
I've seen Emma Watson's face photoshopped on many sort of images, but not Superwoman.
Like what? For science, doesn't it?
Oh, soon they'll be doing deep fakes of you and me. What do they call that? Slash fiction.
One can hope. But yeah,
I'll definitely be the receiver.
Yeah.
But go on.
What were we talking about?
Michael Keaton, they
Michael
originally
Keaton.
didn't want him to be Batman because they couldn't see him. The idea was that him as Bruce Wayne, they'd never see him as Batman. But in a way, that's almost ingenious because you'd never suspect him.
Yeah. Although I will say that in the Batman film, like, Battison still has the kind of, Edward Cunnilingus hairdo when he's Bruce Wayne. But I get that he's supposed to be a younger Bruce Wayne.
I think we could only really blame that on like the makeup department because I doubt Robert Pattinson had any say over what his hair was.
Well, yeah, but I get that he's supposed to be like the younger Bruce Wayne, isn't he?
Yeah, it's year 2 Batman.
So I can buy him as the younger Bruce Wayne. I can buy Christian Bale as the Bruce Wayne that's been doing it for a bit. And also Michael Keaton, I can buy him as a Bruce Wayne that's kind of like the veteran that's been doing it.
Oh, he's definitely an older Batman.
And I know people have reservations, obviously, because you're only remembered from the last work that you did, which for Robert Pattinson, well, I suppose it was Tenet. But, obviously most people remember him as,
Do you think that's better or worse than being typecast? Being forever remembered as your most embarrassing role or only ever wanting to be casted for a role like that? For example, Daniel Radcliffe was obviously always carry Harry Potter around with him.
Yeah.
But what if his only jobs he could ever get acting-wise from them was as a wizard?
Oh, but have you seen Guns Akimbo?
No, I have not.
For those of you who don't know, it's the, everyone's seen the meme of Daniel Radcliffe with like 2 guns like nailed to his hands. Watch that film. It is fucking hilarious, and Daniel Radcliffe is actually, he's genuinely funny. He is actually genuinely funny in that film. He's good. He also does a very convincing American accent as well. I think I would go as far to say that he has left Harry Potter behind.
I'm sorry, I have to be an asshole here. Technically, you could say saying, "Oh, that's an American accent," is the exact same as saying that's an English accent because there are so many regions of America. In the same way, there are so many regions like North or Southern Americans. So is basically what I'm sort of going for.
It's like
here.
California, but it's convincing. There are British actors that do American accents, but you can hear the Britishness come through.
Like Hugh Laurie when he does House.
I haven't watched House.
I don't blame you. I love it.
But I mean, so for instance, actually, I will say Mark Gatiss, he's Mycroft in Sherlock. He also
David Tennant. His accenting powers are brilliant because he's Scottish.
Yeah.
He can do any sort of voice.
British ones are good. But there's Mark Gatiss, where he plays an American in Space. If none of you have seen Space, sort your life out. It's basically what made Simon Pegg and Nick Frost famous. But Mark Gatiss plays like a CIA dude in Space. I'm not gonna lie, his American accent is just not. It's just not.
I remember when we were doing vocal lessons back in university. We've got degrees, but because we went to university. Guess what restaurants we work at? But anyway, I remember when we were doing our vocal lessons. Our teacher was emphasising how when trying to do an American accent, you need to overemphasise the A in words. So instead of can't, it's can't. You really sort of linger on the A's in words, like and I can't do that, and that makes it for whatever reason more American.
And it's also interesting that Southern American is
the
kind of there's that, and also the fact that it's supposed to be kind of pronunciated, I guess. So it's like they say the police, because like that sort of apparently spills over from kind of posh British, like the police. It's like the police, the
dosy tones of my focus,
the vehicle,
my articulation. I say, boy. I should not say boy in a Southern American accent.
Well, it depends who you say it to.
Anyway, I'm going to quickly reel back here. I want to focus for a second.
I don't know how we got from Batman to South America.
That's what people love about our bullshit. But going back to young Bruce Wayne, for example, because there have only been 2 Batman actors that have now done that. Bale and Battison, and I want to quickly shout out to Bale here because he had to play Bruce Wayne in literally every stage of his fucking life. Young Bruce Wayne, training Bruce Wayne, not yet Batman Bruce Wayne, come back to Gotham and he's adult Bruce Wayne and Batman sort of thing. Whereas Battison had to be young Bruce Wayne and Batman. And to be fair, a lot of people give Battison so much shit. Oh, it's so emo as young Bruce Wayne. It's like a My Chemical Romance music video still shot. But to be honest, rewatching Batman Begins, Christian Bale was just as bad. He even had his hair combed sort of like nearly over his eyes. Like, Alfred, if I could have my way, I'd pull down this house brick by brick.
Also, I'd like to meet those people and be like, motherfucker, you get to look me in the eyes and tell me that you did not listen to My Chemical Romance at some point when you were a kid. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sit down, fuckboy.
But yeah, obviously.
Oh wait, they're probably not fuckboys because they don't have sex.
But to be honest, it's a comic book. Batman is as gothic as a superhero as you get, and yes, young Bruce Wayne is an edgelord. He thinks he's in so much pain. Wasn't the whole point of Riddler's speech at the end was like, oh, Bruce Wayne thinks he's so fucking sad. This ain't a spoiler.
We'll get.
Hang on, I just want to quickly get my point across. He's like, Bruce Wayne thinks he's so fucking sad being an orphan. Yeah, he was an orphan in a fucking mansion. I had rats nibbling my foreskin, and Bruce Wayne was eating fucking quail clitorises every night.
And it's like, well, you know what, Riddler? I mean, you just kind of revealed a lot about your sexual preferences, but that's probably why you're in here.
Arkham. To be fair though, shouldn't you have just been in a regular fucking... He was just a... I don't think he was in... We'll get into Riddler.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But what I
poor choice of words.
Well, you're one letter out.
Spreading the cheeks. I've got a...
I'm the diddler.
Oh my god, Riddler's cellmate is you're the Riddler? I'm the diddler.
Can you imagine that? Instead of fucking like question marks, he just has cocks. No,
it's still a question mark, but the bit when the hoop goes over, it keeps spiraling into a ruptured anus.
Oh, it's just a sperm. It's just a sperm that he leaves.
We're nearly in our 30s.
I mean, the one thing I will say is the opening of the film, actually really set the tone really well for me, because there's that part in, is it the subway, I guess, where like there's a group of like thugs that are beating up this dude.
The skull face people.
Yeah, and then Batman like comes out of the shadows, and I was like, that's almost like a horror movie. Like, imagine if those thugs were like the teenage kids, and Batman's like the horror movie monster, like Michael Myers. And you're like, oh yeah, he actually does install fear into people. You know what I mean?
There was that moment though, and I had the same problem in the trailer when that one guy's like, "Who are you?" and Battison just beats the shit out of him. Everyone else has just stood there watching, letting it happen. It's like one at a time itis, but for vegetables.
Otherwise he would have lost, and the film would have been really short.
Well,
it wouldn't have been 3 hours long.
Yeah, quickly going to get out there. Me and Rob both did love this movie. I give it a 7 out of 10. What were you?
I'll give it a 7, yeah.
Yeah, but definitely could have used a bit more.
I use points? I'd say 6.57.
That's fair. Well, yeah, my 7 is not a strong 7. Mm-hmm. But this movie definitely could have been put on the editing floor for a bit longer. It's like slow burn.
Yeah, again, like the fact that like The Dark Knight is 2.5 hours long, and it uses up its time so well.
However, I would say that... Fucking hell, get it out. This movie is nothing like any of the other Batman movies, because The Dark Knight, even the Michael Keaton Batman, those are like action-packed Hollywood movies, but this is nothing like that. This is a dark, almost noir, even though Batman in this movie is a shit detective, it's an almost noir, dark thriller. This movie is a thriller, not an action movie, is what I'm saying.
I sorry, I just like, when you say what I said, I just hear that college with, I am the world's greatest detective.
I found it! I found the button!
If you know, you know.
Want to quickly say, my computer would analyze it with science.
Yeah. No,
but yeah, fuck. What actually was I saying?
you were talking about how it's a slow burn and how it's
yeah, the movie is a slow burn.
It's not like an action-packed thing.
No,
it's
it's like you going off what you were saying. Yeah, I said this to you when we were talking about it before. This movie gets across what no other Batman movie. The Arkham games did get this across, and it's the idea because obviously Batman is just one man. He can't be everywhere, all over Gotham at once. So what does Batman do? He controls villains with fear. How does he do that? And they showed it so well.
Beating the fucking shit out of them.
But also, because they hold on shots of criminals.
Oh, what's that? What's that for? Fear will keep them in line. Is that Bane? No. Who says that? Fear. That's a Star Wars line. Fear will keep them in line. Yeah, maybe. Star Wars. Fear will keep them in line. When they destroy Alderaan.
Oh, right.
I think.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But it was when you'd see shots of criminals just looking into a dark corner and wondering if Batman was in there. Like you said, he just emerges out of the darkness.
Yeah, like a horror movie monster, and you're like, oh, you guys are fucked.
And they even had that in the animated Batmans, the idea that criminals are cowardly and superstitious. So obviously, because Batman can't be everywhere at once, his hold over the mental fear of the criminal underbelly is everywhere. As if Batman is everywhere. He might. They did that in the Nolan version as well. At the beginning of The Dark Knight, there was a guy that was like, the one guy wasn't going to commit a crime, and the guy said, "Come on, you got a better chance of winning the lottery than running into him." But the thing is, the fear is there, and the way they'd hold, maybe a bit too long, they hold on the shot of this black corner to sort of emphasise the dread, the encroach. It's almost Orwellian.
It's psychological warfare.
Yeah, exactly.
And almost, obviously not comparing Batman at all to the Gestapo and shit, but this idea that there is someone out there hiding in the shadows that you can't see that will come out and hurt you.
I just immediately picture Batman in Vietnam.
I mean, he does when the streets start speaking.
Two-Face. He's in the trees. Shit, that's incentive. I loved slow, but I think no other Batman movie so far has gotten across Batman's hold over the criminals of Gotham. I think that thing is really what separates it.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely, I would say it's one of the most sort of Batman films that I've seen in a while. So Nolan tried to make him Batman, kind of realistic, believable, and I really like that.
Absolutely. Same.
Obviously, there's the the Schneider Batman.
Zack Schneider.
Yeah,
he's Jewish now, isn't he? It's Zack Schneider.
Yeah. Oh wait, shit! We made a Nazi reference. Got a drink.
Hey, I missed this game.
But there's that Batman, which I mean, it's not that I don't like Batfleck, but I'm just a little bit indifferent to him. Really, I just don't.
I always thought he was too much of a scrawny Batman.
I don't. What, Batfleck? I thought he was really heavy.
Oh, Batfleck! Sorry, I thought you meant Bale's Batman.
No. But
I loved Batfleck. Sort of everything.
Again, I will commend him the fact that he does remind me of the Killing Joke, where he is really hench. In the Killing Joke, the animated one that they made a few years ago. Are
you referring to the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Returns animated movie? Because it's huge in that.
The Killing Joke.
Oh, I thought he was a pretty average sort of size in the Killing Joke.
I thought he was really big in the Killing Joke.
The one where he's the biggest is the Dark Knight Returns and the Dark Knight Returns Part 2. That's where he's at his most hench. That's why
he's really big in that, yeah.
Yeah, that's when he's got the voice of RoboCop.
Probably should have used that as the
He's
example.
huge in that because that's the animated version of Batman actually defeating Superman.
And also, his suit's grey.
Yeah, grey with a giant
black bat on it. Whereas Bale's one is just black. I would say. Again, I mean, you and I are kind of different on our opinions. You like the big Batman, big head, but I kind of like the lean, sort of more kind of thinner Batmen, which I think Battison does well because Pattison's not a big guy. Do you know? Battison, himself as an actor, is not a big guy. And so having his suit the way it is, I
don't think there was a shirtless scene with Battison, was there? In the Batman? Because we saw Bale and we saw Batfleck shirtless to see. Oh, we had a whole workout scene with Batfleck.
Yeah. I mean, even if there wasn't, like, Battison the actor is not hugely big.
Yeah.
He's like lean, and I guess that kind of leads into the fact that Batman like knows like these martial arts and stuff, and he's kind of nimble. And I think it's kind of a cool take on, like a different take on.
I think they hinted at that it was Alfred that trained Batman, because there was a scene when he's with Alfred, who's played by Andy Serkis, where he's talking. I think he talked about how I taught you how to defend yourself and stuff like that. So I think they were implying that it was Alfred that using his previous MI5 knowledge that trained Batman.
Yeah, and there was a little neat reference in the film where Andy Serkis, Alfred says, is like, when I was working at the Circus. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Circus is slang for MI5. Like, MI5 is like, I work at the Circus. It's slang for MI6 or MI5. It's sort of like a little kind of pseudonym for them.
Yeah.
Which is like a real thing, which I thought was like kind of cool. He's like, I work at a circus. It's like, for those who know, you're like, oh, he's like a spy.
Yeah.
What did you think of Andy Serkis as Alfred?
I don't know. I only got 2 scenes of him.
Yeah, but
one scene where he's talking to Bruce and Bruce is being a dick. He gets blown up and then he's in the hospital.
Yeah, I thought Bruce was like a bit like kind of just mean to. I mean,
well, again, edgelord Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I know. I was like, yeah. But then, the obviously Michael Caine, and then I guess Jeremy Irons as well with Batfleck.
Oh, love Jeremy Irons, Alfred.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love Andy Serkis.
I don't think Serkis got a fair chance.
Yeah.
It's like Jared Leto from Suicide Squad. He bitched that he didn't get enough time to actually make an impression.
Oh, yeah, but he's like a little bitch anyway. Like, he would have been a cunt about it anyway.
Yeah, he got his second chance in the Snyder Cut.
He mailed people fucking like use condoms. It's like, make sure, like, you're an actor. The whole point of being an actor, and I don't know if you know this, but you pretend to be someone you're not.
What's that famous?
You're just being a dick backstage. Like, if I ever, that'd be really fucking funny if I managed to, be in a film with Jared Leto. I'd be like, oh, sorry, man, I'm a method actor, so now I'm gonna plow your arsehole because I'm playing a bad guy.
Hey, I'm sure Jared Leto's an amazing actor. After all, Morbius is doing great, isn't? Oh.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
What so unfair.
No, it's not. No, who fucking cares?
He was in American Psycho, and that was alright.
Yeah, you know who else was in American Psycho?
Christian Bale.
Yeah, who was in a good Batman film.
Yeah.
Oh.
But anyway, we're talking. Yeah, I don't think Serkis got enough of a chance to be an Alfred. You just had to be sort of there for a few bits and bobs. Yeah. And in a 3-hour movie, you give Alfred barely 10 minutes of screen time total. Fuck you.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of might have used him for like star signification. To be like, oh, it's Andy Serkis. Like, everyone loves Andy Serkis, let's put that in so people are going to watch it.
That's the point. In the old Batman movies, no one gave a fuck about who was Alfred. It was just some old cunt.
Well, I mean,
ever since Michael Caine, they've had to get a star to be Alfred.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy Irons, though, is pretty funny.
Oh, he's so far my favourite sassiest Alfred. Because the thing is, Alfred is someone, you need to remember, that raised Bruce. Alfred is Bruce's father.
He's the daddy.
So obviously, he's going to give Bruce shit while he still has to serve him, sort of thing. But he only serves Bruce out of respect and loyalty to Bruce's parents. It's an interesting dynamic on their relationship. It's explored well in the comics.
Like a godfather. Like, in a way,
Send Penguin a message.
I was going to say, in a way, Alfred is a little bit like Sirius Black. Like, both of, Bruce's parents are dead, and he's sort of like their closest kind of, thing to a family member, so he brings him up. Yeah. Even though, like, Sirius never actually really got to bring Harry up.
Even though he could have used Polyjuice Potion to easily do it.
Yeah, I know, which is, funnily enough, what, Barty Crouch Jr. and his mum did to get him out of Azkaban, but,
and also remain as a Hogwarts teacher for a whole fucking year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to respect it somehow. What are you talking about? Batman. Okay. So,
but yeah, Andy Serkis, he was alright. Yeah, I don't think you can really do Alfred badly. I'm not disrespecting Andy Serkis as an actor or anything, but you'd have to be really bad to do Alfred wrong.
Yeah. Ralph Fiennes in Lego Batman. Oh, he was good. He was good, mate. Lego Batman is still a Batman film.
Actually,
and I refuse.
That was an Alfred that actually had a lot more depth and complexity to him, because that was someone that was genuinely trying to.
I also fucking love how Ralph Fiennes voiced Alfred, but didn't voice Voldemort in that fucking film.
He would have done it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was like, that's so.
Do you think Ralph Fiennes would snidely, like, whenever they get in the Voldemort voice actors, he was like, "Come on, you stupid muggles." Ralph Fiennes would just look at him, and judge him, and you could tell he was in the booth, seeing the eyes bear down on him.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But yes, the Batman.
I was saying, like, there were parts where it was very sort of comic book-esque, but I think they did it, like, quite well. So, for instance, the first time the Batmobile fires up.
Quick didaction there. Did you like this Batmobile? I'm still on Team Tumblr from Bale. Nothing has eclipsed that for me yet. Not even Batfleck's Batmobile.
I mean, the thing is, with the Tumblr, I liked it because it was like a prototype military vehicle, and you could believe enough that it could be used like as a kind of military vehicle in war, that he just converted for his own purpose. You're like, okay.
Well, just painted it black.
Well, yeah, but it's got like guns and shit on it.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah, and his bike's got guns on it.
Yeah, that's a point. Was the bike always part of the Tumblr? Why would that be needed in military?
Maybe.
Do you remember the bike?
Well, I don't know in the military, but they kind of use guns like a lot.
Sorry to distract
Even though
you.
Batman doesn't kill people, but the military definitely kill people.
Yeah. There's a funny moment, it's the robot chicken thing. You know in The Dark Knight when the tumbler breaks and he has to explode it into the bat cycle? Then the robot chicken does that, goes into the bat cycle. The bat cycle breaks.
You could just call it the bicycle.
Yeah. And then after that breaks, Batman turns it into a unicycle. Yeah. And then that breaks and it turns into a pogo stick. So it just...
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
I thought it was really cool when it started up, but... And I know because, like, they definitely took, like, essence from the comic books. But when the Bunsen burner on the back of it lit up, I was just like, oh, honey, no. Like, that just got
To be fair, in, like, what was it?
Got too...
In Fast and Furious movies, they also use, like, nitro bursts. And I think that's really what it's meant to be, sort of thing. Just a massive glory hole of a nitro burst.
I feel like this Batman movie kind of takes itself a little bit more seriously than the Fast and Furious movie.
There's a hot take.
Yeah.
Really? There's your headline.
Yeah, but then you got like this big Bunsen burner. I know that like
like a rocket.
The Bale one has like a jet at the end of it, but it looks like it could be a jet engine. Whereas
when he's going on the rooftops, he activates it.
Whereas the Battison one, it just looks like a big Bunsen burner going out the back, and I was like, oh.
Did Batfleck's one have one? I'm struggling to remember, because he definitely had one, because it crashed into Superman and then bounced off him.
That you don't remember what his Batman was.
To be fair, Batman v Superman, that's like a 2.5 hour movie itself. Yeah, film directors, you can do Batman in 90 minutes.
And that's actually the thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
Is that, as you know, and as some people that might have listened to this podcast who are unhinged enough to listen to this podcast, you know that in the Batman vs Superman, I love the warehouse scene.
Oh.
And
I just came.
Going on to my next point about how I think this is the most Batman film that's been out for a while, is that his like fighting and his tactics is using his gadgets, using stealth and stuff, using the shadows and stuff, to take out bad guys. Like, that's what Batman is to me. You know what I mean?
Not walking up to a guy as he's machine gunning you and then just punching him.
Yeah, and then that is another thing I want to bring up.
Yeah, I know. Rob is a gun expert, so I'm interested to hear his take.
No, well, it's not the gun aspect. It's the storytelling aspect. I have this problem with Black Panther. Where the fact that it's like so the biggest weapon that like an average criminal could have is a gun. If the criminal can't hurt you with a gun, then there's no threat. There's no suspense. There's no like danger for you. Whereas with Christian Bale, he definitely has like his suit is like it's protective, but like you get shot it's going to be a problem for you. But again, like the bullets just bounce off, and I was like, well, why should I care that you're getting shot then? Why do I feel danger for you? Like that's just.
But yet the shotgun at the end did him.
Yeah,
I think automatic.
That one idiot that brought a double-barreled shotgun and shot him. You're like, oh yeah, no, that's the dude that did the damage. Not the guys with the AR-15s or hunting rifles. No.
Actually,
it was the fucking idiot with the double-barreled shotgun.
They were all meant to shoot on the people below. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, why? Yeah.
That wouldn't have been very good. A double-barreled shotgun on people that are like 50 meters below you.
I mean, it would hurt them for sure, depending on what you use. I mean, if you're using slow speed. But anyway, the point is, I'm not going to get into the gun thing. But the point is, it's like the moment like the bullets start just bouncing off him, it's like, well, I have no reason to worry about you anymore, about getting hurt. So there's no suspense in the scene when you're fighting guys with guns.
Also, even...
So it takes away any of the suspense, which I don't like. And that's from a storytelling perspective.
From a technical perspective, as someone that's very aware of the impact of automatic fire at close range, even if you're somehow magically bulletproof, automatic fire hitting you at the distance we're at right now, even if those bullets are bouncing off, the impact is still gonna fucking also, strike your body.
Maybe you could survive, but you'd have to wear real heavy plate. But the thing is, you're definitely not. But again, it's more of the storytelling aspect of that I don't like. It's the fact that it's like there's no reason for me to worry about you. Like with Black Panther, it's like you get shot, you take loads of damage, but it actually, for him, it powers up his suit. It's like, well, there's no danger. So why do I care if you're getting shot? I know that you're fine.
I love that Batman has that impossibly bulletproof suit, but still leaves his mouth exposed. No one
shoots him in the face. And that's another thing I want to fucking bring up.
Right. The explosion. That didn't somehow decimate his teeth with the Riddler's...
Oh, yeah, no, I forgot about that.
The guy with the bomb in his neck, and Batman, you literally see the fire engulf his head, but his mouth is fine.
Yeah.
Do you think Batman ever has to worry about tan lines?
I mean, it's not as if he had to, it's not as if he had a beard. But no, the one thing, there was another thing, and maybe this is petty, but what the fuck was Catwoman's mask?
What was Catwoman?
Like... I was like, guys, I know it's a 3-hour film, but like, did you just run out of budget? And we're like, all right, what's Catwoman's mask gonna look like? Oh, well, we've only got like $20 left in the budget. Oh shit. Well, we'll have this balaclava that looks absolutely awful, and then we'll have Catwoman that kisses Batman, even though they have absolutely no chemistry whatsoever.
We'll get onto that. Wait, what was the costume in The Dark Knight Rises? I forgot the name of the actress that played her. Anne Hathaway. They gave her a sort of like they gave her the cat ears.
They gave her the cat ears. And also, she looked like she had some sort of like protective kind of plate mask. In a way, like it was solid. It wasn't like Michelle Pfeiffer, where it was just like leather. Whereas, like whoever this Catwoman was, it was just a balaclava that looked absolutely fucking awful. It didn't cover her face whatsoever. It had just like a little bit of pointy stuff. I was like, that looks so bad. Like the rest of her suit looks cool, right? But it was just her mask. It was like, that is the most fucking...
Yeah, going off what you said before and how comic book movie this is, to randomly throw in a character with a balaclava, just sort of like... Everything else is so comic book, and then you just do that sort of thing.
I mean, it just
Pick
looks
a lane.
cheap, though. It just looks like they didn't care about what her mask looked like.
Maybe they were like, she hasn't been Catwoman for long, sort of thing. Similar to Batman, sort of thing. He's a new Batman, she's a new Catwoman. She hasn't created Catwoman yet. She's just a cat burglar.
Yeah, maybe. But I just thought that her mask looked just awful.
I thought she was awful.
I thought she was bad. And she was basically... I mean, again, I said, it was like, there's this forced, completely no chemistry kiss that they have every now and then. But then
but they're together in the comics, Rob, so they have to be together in this movie.
Oh my god! Oh fuck! Sorry,
anyone that brings up Talia al Ghul in the comments, I'll find you.
I withdraw.
Sorry. Okay, I can't hold it back.
Her last words to me were
"spit in my mouth." I can't.
But then again, basically, what was she? She was basically exposition sprinkled with a little bit of SJW, appeasement.
Oh yeah, she brings up like white people, doesn't she, or something?
Yeah, she was like, we need to beat the rich white men. I was like, I don't know if you know, but I think a psychopathic killer is a little bit more dangerous than rich white men. Maybe that's just my logic. I don't know.
I dare you to post that on Twitter.
I don't have Twitter. I have sex with actual people.
Yeah, that's fair. But I can't hold back anymore. This was the worst character in the whole...
Damn, man, that was red and heavy.
Yeah, sorry about the fur. Oh, I can't fucking hold it back. You could cut her out of the movie. Don't bring in the club scene. I'll get to that. You could cut her out of the movie and it would be no different. Batman would still go through all the riddles and he would still eventually do everything else. Yeah, he uses her to get into the iceberg lounge and through that fucking stupid camera lens that they probably ripped off from a Mission Impossible movie.
Also, like, you know you're Bruce Wayne? Like, you have all the gadgets and shit that you could have done yourself.
That fucking line where it's like, do you know who I am? And then he just... That being said, I kind of do like that scene in the, a nightclub when he's beating the shit out of people and then...
And also, that reminds me, actually, that was reminiscent of The Dark Knight, you know?
Yeah, when he goes to...
And I was
was it Maroni?
Cool. Yeah, Maroni, yeah, no, that was cool.
Like, hey, if you're going to intimidate someone, do a bit better. Fall from here won't even kill me. I'm counting on it. And he drops him. That was so cool.
And that's a cool thing about Batman. It's like, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to hurt you real bad.
Probably exploded his knees. And wait, but that's the point. Wasn't he later in the movie, like walking around and Harvey like caused his car to flip?
Well,
how was he walking around after that?
Was he walking around? I think he was just sitting in his car.
Yeah, because I swear he must have been walking around.
Did I see him walking? I don't know.
Because Joker was like, "Where's the Italian?" So he must still be. Anyway, maybe I don't know. This ain't the thing for the Dark Knight plot holes. Anyway, you could, and the thing is, I reckon by the end of the movie, the writers realised how fucking worthless Catwoman was as any kind of instrumental part in this story. So it's like, boom, she's Falcone's daughter.
She was basically, yeah, it's like, she's Falcone's daughter. Okay.
Now she's important.
It's like, oh, adorable. I don't care.
And she has this revenge thing out of nowhere.
The whole thing is like there was the one point in that film where she had the chance to fucking kill him, but she didn't. But then, only at the point where Batman turns up to stop her from killing him, that's when she wants to kill him. It's like that makes no fucking sense. Just from a storytelling perspective, that makes no sense.
Quick aside here, the actor that played Falcone, I thought he was quite good. He's a renowned actor that's done many other projects.
I also thought the guy who plays the Penguin, Colin Farrell.
Oh, we'll get to the Penguin in a second.
Oh, we will. No, Falcone was good. Again, he's a gangster. He's a side character.
I kind of liked because that bit with him when he revealed that Thomas Wayne was actually a little bit dodgy. I kind of like that this is becoming a sort of constant narrative that Bruce Wayne's fortune is sort of rooted in blood. Because when I was rewatching the Batman Begins and The Dark Knight with my partner, his family was too fucking perfect. Thomas Wayne was a doctor that worked at a hospital and just let other people run his plan, but he used his money to create the rail system for Gotham. And then Alfred mentioned, oh yes, Master Wayne, your family helped with the underground railways things that helped free slaves. That's why we've got the fucking Batcave. And you know, Bruce, your great-great-great-great-grandfather gave Jesus some water when he was dying on the cross.
You know what really...
It's like too perfect.
You know what's really fucking funny to me of that? It's like the Underground Railroad. That's why they built the Batcave. And it reminds me of that Archer joke. It's like, you do know the Underground Railroad was not literally underground.
Yeah. But that was...
you know what I mean?
There's no such thing as, innocent money and all that.
Also, Gotham's supposed to be... Is Gotham supposed to be like Boston?
Actually, I've heard someone talk about this. It's actually meant to be like Delaware.
Okay.
I always thought it was Chicago.
I don't know if those guys know the Delaware kind of, trade in other human beings at the time.
Yeah, but
really rich white people definitely were not making the Underground Railroad.
But the Waynes were against it, despite still making their fortune. They fought against slavery, and then they...
Yes, that's why they're fictional.
That's sort of why this more take that the Waynes are actually evil, but Batman sort of the one.
Yeah.
I think
But again,
that makes him that makes Bruce Wayne's grief over his family more complex.
Yeah, and
he idolized his parents, and as he grew up and made them the sort of the figurehead of his like crusade, and then once realizing that they weren't perfect,
Yes.
but he still does it anyway
Yes.
in their memory.
But do you know who did it first? J.K. Rowling. Where Harry finds out that his dad was actually
A piece of shit.
a bit of a piece of shit, as well as his godfather. You know, and you know, it's actually good sort of commentary on those people that you think are like really great and stuff.
Yeah, but
then actually when you find out who they really were, they actually look like
but James Potter wasn't the reason Harry Potter fought Voldemort. He sort of had to do that whether his dad was a piece of shit or not. Like, Bruce Wayne fights crime in Gotham because of his parents.
Yeah, but the sentiment of that you think your parents are amazing, and then you find out that they're bad.
Oh yeah, well we've all watched pirated films back in the day, so none of our kids should ever look up to us.
I mean, it depends if you want to, give money to the, paedophile Hollywood system, but that's a conversation for.
Well, we're going to be black bagged in the morning.
Oh yes, because our podcast is so commercial.
V for Vendetta style.
Dylan, I look forward to watching your car crash next week, even though you don't drive.
Joe Rogan. Anyway, okay.
Talking about
Colin Farrell's Penguin. Let's get to there because I have some interesting perspectives here.
He was very much to me.
You go.
I mean, he was a side character, right? Wasn't hugely in it, but I think he was supposed to be kind of like an Al Capone sort of surrogate kind of thing.
Really, Al Capone was a boss, and
he was a gangster,
but I'd say the Penguin was a bit of a bitch,
dodgy gangster, and I thought the Penguin. I thought it was serviceable. I thought it was good. Danny DeVito will always be scary to me, though. For some reason, like I just find
classic Burton.
Yeah, I feel like that. I don't know what it is, but like every time I can watch that film, but the Penguin in that would always be. Even after he's seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, when he's bleeding black and shit.
Like that is creepy. I don't know what it is, but it always gets me.
Part of the Burton verse, why it ended is because of how dark it all was.
Yeah,
they couldn't sell. McDonald's couldn't sell Batman toys anymore.
Yeah,
and shit.
And that's what you think. Like you think because at the time, people thought, oh yeah, Batman. Batman. It's a cartoon. It's fun. But then Burton did that, and again, because my dad had the VHS tape of it.
What, of the Batman Returns?
Yeah.
Shit, nice.
And
I think we did as well.
I just found it and put it in and started watching it.
Did Michelle Pfeiffer give you your sexual awakening?
No. That was not her. No. It wasn't her. That was...
Karen Gillan.
No, it wasn't Karen. Sorry, Karen. It wasn't you either.
Penguin was weirdly horny in that movie.
Yeah,
the pussy I'm looking for.
Yeah, no, he probably was. Yeah, it's Danny DeVito who's in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But no, he was really actually like a scary kind of like a villain that actually like made me uncomfortable to watch. And I guess I was kind of young, so I didn't really know. I was just like, I don't like this.
Thing is, with Colin Farrell, they caked him in so much makeup to still give Penguin this grotesque look. The part of me thought, did you really need to even get Colin Farrell? He looks nothing like Colin Farrell.
Yeah, also, the fact that he's the Penguin, but it's like, is he though? He's just
a fat gangster.
Just a fat gangster. Yeah, exactly. No, literally.
That's why I don't know why he's getting a spin-off show. He's the most boring Batman villain.
It's like just because you get a fat guy and call him the Penguin doesn't make him the Penguin.
And to be honest, from the comics and all that, Penguin is a lot more of a businessman sort of thing. Yeah, he's shady, but he runs his clubs and shit.
Again, just because you're wearing hockey pads does not make you the Batman.
Penguin, in terms of a tier list, is more in line with the Riddler. He's a C or D tier Batman villain.
Okay, so I think we need to get onto this part because
I want to quickly point out that whole giant chase to get the Penguin, where Batman murdered. How many cars blew up in that whole chase just to get to the Penguin to find out he's not the informant?
I actually kind of found that.
Spoiler alert.
I actually sort of found that kind of funny.
I was like, and it was like the world's greatest detective. It's like, and they all start spouting off. So you did that so that then you could take over the whole operation. It's like, no, not at all. You shit heel.
It was the point. It was the part where like ran over the ramp, and then Batman's like striding towards the crash car, and then they've got these post-production effects going like.
Oh yeah, the Terminator feet.
And then he bends down. I was like, mate, that is some funny shit. Like that was just that was.
You could see the trailer shots throughout that whole moment when Penguin fixes his thing and then Batman comes out of the fire and the slow.
I mean, they do it more than once, and I think the first time they did it was good because it's like he's got sort of like gravitas to it. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, that's great to But then when he did that, I was just like, that's just kind of funny. But we are nearly. I mean, we need.
Oh shit!
So we need to address
what?
The Riddler.
Yeah, that's fair. I almost...
Dylan, the floor is yours.
As someone, actually, believe it or not, the Riddler is one of my favourite Batman villains. To a point that when we were in university, I did my own take on the Riddler in a small performance piece because I really enjoy the concept that Riddler can be a successful megalomaniac. Quick thing, because I know so much about the Riddler, he said, holding his cock, because I know a fair amount.
He whips it out like 5 minutes later.
The problem with the Riddler is that he's an excessive narcissist. He has a horrific superiority complex. This is all psychological. He's a narcissist. He has an aggressive superiority complex. In a similar way of why the Joker is obsessed with Batman, because Batman continues to bring the Joker so much joy in evading his death traps. The Riddler is obsessed with Batman because Batman continues to solve his puzzles, and the Riddler's entire fixation is on proving his intellectual superiority over Batman. That is what gives the Riddler his reason for being, because he sees himself as the most smartest man in all of Gotham, but Batman is always able to solve his riddles, and the Riddler is obsessed with proving his superiority intellectually to Batman and bringing him down. This Riddler was just some shithead in a fucking leather helmet.
Fucking gimp mask is what it was.
Just some dipshit that Googled a couple of riddles and planted bombs.
Yeah.
This Riddler was not obsessed with trying to prove he's smarter than anyone else. They gave him his whole plot line was just trying to bring down the corruption of Gotham. The Riddler would not give a shit about Gotham's corruption. The Riddler only gives a shit about his riddles and proving how clever his riddles are to everyone else. He's sort of like Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik from the fucking Sonic movies.
Jim Carrey was also the Riddler.
Fucking hell, that's a good point.
I think the thing about...
Oh, it's so disappointing, Karen.
I think the thing about the Riddler was that I didn't like was that... I mean, I probably have to watch the film again, but I felt like there was nothing... Like, when you found out who it was and what he was doing, like, there was no way that you could have maybe worked it out. It was just like, you'll never be able to work this out. The only reason why you'll know who it is and what's happening is when the film tells you. Whereas I feel like there are good films where they leave little clues that when you rewatch the film, you're like, oh, I can see now like how that works. Whereas this was just like, no, you're never going to work it out. Which is, again, it's not part of like the Riddler ethos. Part of the Riddler ethos is like he leaves clues that are possible to work out if you're smart enough, and that's where he gets his kicks.
I'm sorry to interrupt. There's actually a funny joke I came across literally the other day. It was a panel with like Batman and the Riddler. I've caught you, Riddler. I was like, how did you catch me? You left me a riddle telling me how to catch you. Oh yeah. It's like, the Riddler literally could do all this shit, but he wants to give Batman a chance to catch him, to prove that he can't catch him.
Yeah, again, the gimp mask that he wore.
In the comments section on, what was it, like a Reddit thread or a Tumblr account sort of thing. It was like, they said it was like a Poland...
I'm not on Reddit or Tumblr, but...
It's like either a Polish or a Russian sort of winter military thing sort of thing, because obviously it's leather, so cold and all that. It's like apparently it's like a military cold
Really?
country. Yeah, apparently.
Well, it looks like a gimp mask.
For whatever reason, in that scene, I was reading the comments.
And to be fair, the Riddler does look like a bit of a gimp. Like when
Even with the glasses in the fucking mask. Which, no, sorry, but that's not intimidating.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys know, but you know, over the past few years where people have had to wear masks, wearing glasses with masks don't fucking work. They fog up.
I want to quickly point out all those moments when it's first person perspective with Riddler and he's about to kill someone, and all you hear is. I was so annoyed by that. I wasn't uncomfortable. It was
distracting.
I think that they were trying to bank on that ASMR sort of thing,
I think they were just trying to bank on the Heath Ledger shit, from Dark Knight where he films himself.
Maybe.
I think that's what it was.
They could have done that without the noise though, and it might have because we watched the movie. What was it called? Psycho. It had like Frodo Baggins as like the main killer, and it was all. Was it Maniac?
Maniac,
and it was all first person.
By the way, if you need to watch that film. It's a good film.
It's very interesting. It's all sort of from first person FPS.
Yeah, if you're a gore hound, it's a film for you.
Yeah, to be honest, it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
And that could be uncomfortable at times because the whole thing looks like it's being filmed through a GoPro and it's immersive in a way. But imagine if it was 3D. But anyway. But when when you're trying to, in that moment, because they do that in Michael Myers movies as well, when you see it through his mask and the camera just shows the outline of his like rubber mask.
Well, that's
just a little bit.
That's also a coding convention of horror.
It's intimate.
Yeah, because it's like you're inside the mind. It's a coding convention of horror. But the thing is, I think they were basically just trying to, kind of maybe reference, Heath Ledger's. The videos that the Heath Ledger Joker made.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to do that.
But that loud breathing just pissed me off.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm trying to focus, asshole.
Yeah.
And he just bludgeons someone. Look at the Riddler just beating someone to death with a candlestick in the dining room like it's fucking Cluedo.
I just imagine that he was basically like what a Redditor would be if they were a killer. Like
and maybe that's what they were going for.
Like just mouth breathing and. Some shit. I don't know. I'm not ready.
I think you've actually kind of hit the nail on the head there. I think that's what they were going for. Riddler was just a sad sort of, like they said, like his big lament at the end when, and I'll talk about this in a second.
Yes.
When he met him in the Arkham Asylum and he thought Batman was on his side, and Batman turns out you're just a sick freak, and then he goes, no. He turns into Tommy Wiseau for 5 seconds, and then he starts singing,
apart,
Batman.
Nice, we laughed at our own jokes again.
Yeah, we're such professional comedians.
But
and then he starts singing. What is it, Ave Maria or something?
I don't know. But the thing is, he was when he gets caught.
Oh, in the cafe.
First of all, like for his plan to unfurl, there was absolutely no reason why he should be caught. Like there was absolutely no reason why he should be caught. So
you are asking a lunatic to be sensical here, though.
Yeah, I know, but he's supposedly really smart. Like, if you're really smart and you want to cause destruction, why would you get yourself caught? That makes no sense, because it's like, if you want to cause destruction, surely you'd not want to be, incarcerated if you want to cause more destruction. And then also, again, I need to talk about the scene when he is caught, he's in Arkham.
Please do.
He's wearing this weird metal ring that can definitely be pulled over his head. I don't know why he's wearing that. And then again, he starts singing, like you said. He was just too goofy, too silly for me. I kind of lost interest in him. Like, he was way more scary, even with the weird gimp mask.
Do you have a cinematic version of like a meltdown that you would say was done well as opposed to that?
How do you mean, like a meltdown?
Well, like the Riddler did, but in a different movie, like done well though, where like maybe a maniac or someone just has that sort of meltdown, but it's not done like a fucking cartoon elf.
I
know I'm putting you on the spot here.
I guess I could actually
Let us know in the comments if you have
potentially,
one.
but potentially like appropriately, I could hark back to the Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker film.
Oh yeah, that's a point.
Definitely for that. But he like jumped on the chair, he started singing. I was like, oh, this is just stupid now, and it actually took me out of the film. It actually took me out of the film, and I was like,
I never understood why he thought Batman was with him.
Yeah, that makes no sense either.
We're on the same side. You beat up criminals, and I hate Gotham's elite, who are secretly criminals that you don't know about because I had to tell you. So you're with me.
Like whole thing about the fact that you kill people, but Batman doesn't. Yeah, that big. Like one of the big things about Batman is that he doesn't kill people, but you. I was kind of excited to see Phil Dano, whatever his name is, Phil Dano.
I don't know.
Whatever. I was kind of excited to see what he would do. Honestly, it's harsh. I thought it was dumb. I thought his performance was bad, and I know that he's a good actor though. Is the thing, but I think he tried to do the psychotic, it's that stereotype of the laughing psychopath. I'm gonna sing, be weird.
You see those videos of psychiatrists that watch film scenes of maniacs, and all they do is say they don't behave like this. This is not at all what they're like. They're not always like that. Yeah, and you see it's like one of those things like military person reacts to sniper movies and stuff like that. And you see psychiatrists react to maniacs, and they talk about how courts actually determine how someone gets the insanity at an asylum or sent to prison. How someone's faking being sick. Being mentally ill. They did that in the fucking Batman Begins, didn't they? With, Falcone pretending to be Thing, and then Scarecrow goes in there, like, he's not faking, not that one. It's like... Yeah. But there are actual...
Cillian Murphy.
Oh. My partner recently finished Peaky Blinders, and then
is she finished season 6?
I'm not. I don't think so.
All right,
but then we rewatched Batman Begins, where obviously he's in that.
He's in all 3 of those films as well.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I saw Dark Knight Rises in the cinema, and I didn't notice that was him as the judge when I first watched it.
I thought that was a bit weird. Like maybe it is just because Nolan does like Cillian Murphy to be in his films because. He's in, he's in Inception, he's in Dunkirk.
He's a good actor.
Batman. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Why shouldn't he be?
Yeah,
some directors are friends. For example, like Tim Burton casting all the same people in his movies.
Yeah, Tom Hardy, he's in Dark Knight Rises, he's in Dunkirk. Yeah, he's in Inception as well, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. What was it? Got to dream bigger.
I just thought the Riddler after he got unmasked was just too goofy for me.
It was like, we're on the same team because you hunt criminals and I hunt criminals. However, you didn't know the people I was hunting was criminals. That's why I had to lay down riddles for you to figure out that they were criminals. But I still think you're on my side, even though I know you didn't know that they were criminals.
I also blow up innocent people, potentially.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
And then the bit at the ending with his little Reddit squad and... Okay, so...
Yeah, it was like, how the fuck did all those guys, come together, all, within a matter of hours, to shoot a load of people? And... Also, no, they shot the mayor. They shot the mayor, right? Yeah, they shot the mayor in the shoulder. It's like, you get all these, guys that like to do that, and...
Hollywood movies, you can always survive a shot to the shoulder. You just brush that off. You just got to hold it for a while.
And she literally did brush it off, because after the scene at the end where everything collapses and then Batman, fucking lights up a flare, and then the mayor just strides out like she hasn't just been shot with a fucking hunting rifle. You're like, come on, at least hold your shoulder or something.
And again, Batman was taking automatic gunfire a moment ago, but then that fucking
double-barreled fucking antique
puts him on his ass.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that
where he has to take what I believe at the moment was probably a shot of adrenaline, and he had to shoot that into himself to get him back in the game.
Yeah, I mean,
it's probably adrenaline, right?
Yeah, that's
and then he jumps on that giant fucking electric thing and cuts it with his batarang. You know, the batarangs that are made for throwing. He jumps.
Yeah, the one, what's it, Chekhov's batarang that he puts in his chest. And he's going to use it to throw it and do something really cool. Nope. Not even going to throw it, bro.
You mentioned the flare a minute ago when all the people are under all that wreckage and he helps out
Because he is the light that govern me.
And he helps out 2 people and then it immediately cuts to everybody just walking out and following him. And it's like...
Yeah. And then there's a whole...
Not to mention Riddler, he wanted to expose all the corrupt people in Gotham and then decides to just murder innocent people. Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
He just... I'm going to expose all of the lying rats. And then we're just going to kill everyone.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh yeah, I'm going to blow up some shit, cause a flood and kill everyone.
Exactly. That's
why?
Are you actually smart or what?
It's like... And Batman only figured that out because some piece of shit cop who had an uncle that worked in the carpeting business told him about that, and that's how Batman figures it out. Oh, it's not really a good plot. That is a god hand right there.
That is literally like you get the biggest fucking not even the biggest fucking, but you get a pleb that just somehow manages to help the super intelligent greatest detective.
Okay, I know we have to end soon, but we've missed
just bad storytelling.
We've missed someone here who I believe needs a little bit of mention here. The Commissioner Gordon in this movie was great.
Yes.
I believed his friendship with Batman was on point in 5 minutes.
Yes, no, I agree. He was definitely a solid character, and also he was consistent throughout the film of his character.
Absolutely. Don't get Gary Oldman was good, obviously, because Gary Oldman is great.
Yeah. No, this Commissioner Gordon, I can't remember what the actor's name
Wasn't the actor that played J. Jonah Jameson in The Batfleck? He was the Commissioner Gordon in that world. The guy who plays...
Simmons.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons. He was Commissioner Gordon in Batfleck universe. He was alright.
This Gordon was good. Again, he very much reminds me of the Batman, the animated Batman... Oh, is it Batman Returns? Yeah, the animated Batman Returns Gordon.
I know who you mean, yeah.
Yeah, he reminds me of him. He's kind of gruff, but at the same time, he's kind of sort of on the kind of edge. He's like, hey, look, I know I'm out of my depth, so I kind of need you, but at the same time, I'm please commit. I thought he was good, and actually, I think he was one of the strongest.
Oh, absolutely.
He was. It's not the least annoying, but it was whenever he was on screen, you're like, yes, okay, this he's good for advancing the plot, and also he's good for kind of having that kind of voice in Batman's head about the fact that Batman is technically only a dude in a.
When Batman's there at the crime scenes and all the cops are running around and Batman's just standing there like, yeah, I'm here too. It's just standing there.
I thought it was good, Gordon. I did.
Oh, absolutely.
I rate him. I rate him a probably an 8. I think probably an 8 out of every single Batman thing that I've seen. I'm probably about an 8.
Again, when me and my partner were rewatching Batman Begins, and there was that scene when Commissioner Gordon, Gary Oldman's in the Bat Tank, takes out that pillar to make the train derail, right?
Yeah.
So Batman never needed to go on the fight to go on the train to fight him, did he?
No, he didn't. But you know what he did?
I know what you're going to say.
Because he's Batman.
No better phrase to end on than that. But once again, despite the fact we spent the better part of this shitting on the movie,
and also
we really enjoyed it. We did actually really enjoy it. Like I said, this was probably the most Batman live action movie I've seen in quite a while.
Batman.
All right then, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Yes, and until next time, stay young, stay gold, and you've been listening to...
Laughing on a Prayer.